Hey guys, so today we're working on a brand new 2024 Hino L6. The main reason for this video is because there's really not much on the internet as far as how to take this vehicle apart. So I'm just going to go over quickly how to take the dash apart. So if anyone has a Hino L6 and they want to change the radio in it, you can do so. Just follow these steps. It's quite simple. I thought it was rocket science at first. I was a little confused when I came into the cab and tried taking it apart, and then once I finally got it all apart, I realized it's really not as difficult as it seems. So first things first, we are going to remove the panel to the right of the steering wheel. It just kind of pops out. All you really need is like a plastic pry tool and just pop it out. Ours has a switch on it. Please ignore the switch in the photo. Most of them, especially if it's brand new, won't have any switches there. That's just like an extra little panel. If you wanted to add switches, you can, which this truck that we're working on did have a switch there. So if your panel doesn't have anything attached to it, you can remove that panel completely and just toss it to the side. Next would be to remove the parking brake. For those who don't know how to remove a parking brake, all you have to do is turn it counterclockwise until it completely detaches from the post. Once it's detached, I personally like to put it in the cup holder that's next to the shift knob, just so I know where it's at all times and it doesn't get misplaced. It is kind of small and things can get lost, so I just like to tuck it in there. The next thing you're going to remove is the housing around the shifting knob. And as you can see, my little parking brake knob tucked in the cup holder still. I just kind of leave it in there and remove the panel as a whole. So to remove this panel, you're just going to give a slight tug on the left side, like go down to the bottom of where the panel separates from the dash and just give it a little pull and it kind of pops right out. Do the same thing on the right side, and then once it's completely loose and all the clips have kind of came out of place, you can just lift it up over the shift knob and put it to the side. Next, you're gonna want to put your hands at the very bottom of this panel right here and just give it a little tug. Again, it just has a couple of pressure clips holding it in the dash, so you'll just give it a slight tug, it'll pop right out, and put it aside. At this point, you're going to grab a impact gun or drill and have your 10mm socket on the end of it. There is two 10mm that you're going to unscrew and remove from the dash. Again, I personally like to take those screws and put them right into the cup holder with the parking brake knob. That way nothing gets lost. After removing those two 10mm bolts, you're just going to give it a slight tug and it should pop right out. Again, just being secured by pressure clips in the dash, and just notice that this piece is L-shaped, so you're just going to pull on the right side and then at the bottom left side and it should pop right out. At this point, you're able to give a little pull at the trim that's around the AC controls. It's all being held by pressure clips. Once you pop that panel off, I put a red arrow for reference. There is a 10mm, just one, that you're going to want to remove so that you're able to remove the trim around the radio next. After you take it out, just put it into the cup holder with the two other screws. It's very clear which ones are which. The other two are black that go on the right side, and the one that goes on the left side is silver. A little close-up of that one 10mm screw. And finally, the last panel that you need to pop off, all being held by pressure clips. Once you pop this panel off, there are three 10mm screws holding the radio in. Once you pop those off, just unplug the radio. Most aftermarket radios you put into this vehicle, if you are using a double din, you can actually just reuse the OEM brackets and they slide right onto the double din and it sits it perfect so that you don't have any fitment issues when you put it back into the dash. So just a quick little recap. The only tools you really need for this are a 10mm socket, plastic clip removers. Some of the trucks are a little harder than others to pop all of these panels off. I wouldn't use anything metal. The plastic does easily get damaged, so if you can avoid using metal tools, do it at all costs. Aside from the 10mm socket and some plastic pry tools, the only other tool you will need is a Phillips head, because once you pop out that radio with the 3 10mm sockets, the brackets that I was saying you would want to reuse for a double din, they are held in by Phillips heads. So just make sure you have a Phillips handy. They easily unscrew. Put it onto your new radio, pop the radio back in, and then do the reverse of what I just went over with you. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope this was helpful. I know this would have been very helpful for me the first time around. This truck in particular, just so you are aware, does use a Toyota harness. I use a 1761. You don't need both harnesses. It does come with two for those who are familiar with that Metra harness. You only need the main harness, which is the one that has the power, the ground, and then the front door speakers. That's all that's utilized in these trucks. You don't need the second harness, which just has the rear speakers. Obviously, with it being a small cab, there is no rear speakers, so you don't need it. But yeah, thanks for watching.